Hello, I'm Joyce Fields. I am 81 years old and I do YouTube Lives Monday through Friday at 4 a.m. Pacific Time. 90 minutes. I usually go until 5:30, 5:35. And I love doing these lives. I am a TikTok veteran. I have done over 500 TikTok lives. And TikTok changed their community guidelines, and they are too restrictive. And so, like I said, I've done over 500 TikTok lives, but my last TikTok live was on Friday, August 29th. And the way the universe worked it out, perfectly, because my first YouTube live was on the very following Monday, September 1st. So I just love the way that the universe worked that out. I couldn't have asked for better. I couldn't have asked for more. And so in these lives, I share advice that I have gained. Good morning, Shells, in my 81 years of living. And I use this advice every day. I know that it works, and I will be sharing it with y'all. The title of my lives is Undifficult Your Life. Undifficult Your Life. A lot of y'all are doing a lot of things that making y'all's life a lot more difficult than they have to be. And the advice that I share will help you to undifficult your life. I share 4 pillars of advice. Good morning. And the 4 pillars are: pillar number 1, develop and maintain a positive attitude. And I tell you how you do that. And it's not difficult, okay? Undifficult your life, remember? Pillar number 2, increase your level of patience. If you are 10 years old or older, I tell you exactly how you do that. But I always start with the toddlers. So if you're raising toddlers, you'll want to hear how easy it is to teach them patience. Then pillar number 3, I do what I call helpful hand visuals throughout my lives in the pillars. And I call them helpful hand visuals because in one of my TikTok lives this year, one of my viewers, her name is Jessie Knott, and she said, quote, "These visuals are so helpful," unquote. Now, she was referring to gestures that I do with my hands, helpful hand visuals, that help me to communicate. Now, this is my gift, y'all. This is my gift from the universe. We all were given gifts. And whatever your gift is, it's something that you are really good at and something that you enjoy. And this is one of my gifts. The fact that Spirit gives me these helpful hand visuals. I don't make them up. Spirit gives them to me. And when I get to pillar number 3, that is stay calm. That's pillar number 3. Stay calm, y'all. There is tremendous power in your ability to stay calm. You lose your power when you become angry. Stay calm. So when I get to pillar number 3, all of the helpful hand visuals, I think, are mind-blowing. But pillar number 3, that one, the stay calm one, when I did that one the first time, it was in one of my lives, on the TikTok lives this year. When I did it the first time, it blew a lot of my viewers' minds. And I did it for my man, and it blew his mind, blows my mind too. And speaking of my man, I want to tell y'all that me and my man, his name is Pap, that's spelled P-A-P. His real name is Fred. We have been together for 68 years. You heard that correctly. We have been together for 68 years. We have been married for, we just celebrated our 58th wedding anniversary on June 3rd. Thank you. So, but we've been together since we were both 13 years old. He turned 82 in September, and I turned 81 on February 4th. I am so happy to be 81 years old, y'all. Sometimes I look in the mirror and I say, 81 years old, girl. Ooh-wee. I feel wonderful. I'm 81 and I don't feel any differently than I did when I was in my 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, okay? For real. And I'll tell y'all why if I have time. But that's pillar number 3. So I was telling y'all that me and Pap have been together since we were 13 years old. I'm going to show y'all a picture. This picture is 1969. We were both 25 years old. Okay? Joyce and Pap, 25 years old, 1969. Now, this picture, we were both 80 years old. This is last year on our 57th wedding anniversary. Here we are. We're both 80 years old. Okay? Yeah, I love this. Now, it blows my mind too, y'all. I don't take it for granted. It blows my mind too. Thanks, Kira. Look at this, y'all. 25 and 80. Yeah, 25 and 80. And I look at Pap sometimes and I say, my goodness, I've been with this man over half of my life. It blows my mind too. I don't take it for granted, for real. It really amazes me. Okay, so now, that's pillar number 3. I told y'all it blew Pap's mind when I did it. So stay tuned for pillar number 3. Then the last pillar, there are 4 pillars. Pillar number 4 is remember the 4 words that can immediately lower your stress, anxiety, panic, anger, frustration, all of that stuff. Yes. And I'll tell you what those 4 words are when I get to the 4th pillar. So, now, I have so much. I got 90 minutes to tell y'all all the advice that I have to tell y'all. And share this live, y'all, because I would love to be able to share this advice with a whole lot more people. My mission statement as a live creator, I do lives that inspire people on their journey to make the world a better place. And when you undifficult your life, you are contributing to making the world a better place. And the 4 pillars of advice that I share will help you to undifficult your life. And I think that a lot of y'all on my live would like to do things to help to make this world a better place. And the advice that I share doesn't cost you 1 penny, not a cent. So, and now another thing too, y'all, is YouTube post my replays of all my lives are on YouTube. Now I'm a TikTok veteran, like I told some of y'all weren't on here when I said that. I'm a TikTok veteran. And so I have done over 500 TikTok lives. I love doing these lives. And I tell Pap often that I live a virtually stress-free life. And I want to tell y'all how to live a virtually stress-free life. And it is not difficult. The title of my lives is Undifficult Your Life. And this advice, I have lived it. I am 81 years old. I have used this advice and lived it since I was about 10 years old. That's a long time. And I know that it works. And I've been gifted with the ability to tell y'all how it's done. And I use my helpful hand visuals to help me to convey, to communicate philosophies and concepts and illustrations and examples and all of that from my mind to y'all's mind. So that's what I do. Now, pillar number 1, da 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 da, drum roll, okay? Pillar number 1, develop and maintain a positive attitude. Develop and maintain a positive attitude. I'm going to ask you a question. Do you consciously think about the fact that there are only 2 attitudes that you can have? Just 2. A negative attitude or a positive attitude. Just 2. Negative attitude, positive attitude. Do you consciously think about that? Now, YouTube says I have 118 people on here, and I would expect some responses. Come on, give me some responses. Do you consciously think about the fact that there are only 2 attitudes that you can have? Just 2. A negative attitude, a positive attitude. That's wonderful. Oh, great. So, Green, you said no. Okay, a lot of people saying yes. That's wonderful. Okay. All right. Consciously think about the fact that there are only 2 attitudes that you can have. Okay, thank you. Now, negative attitude or positive attitude. That's it. There is not a third one. No, there's not a third one. So now, here is what I have observed. You do not choose to have a negative attitude. Nope. You do not choose to have a negative attitude. There's no neutral attitude. You're going to lean one way or the other. A negative attitude or a positive attitude. That's it. You're going to lean one way or the other. You can't be straight up. Okay? So, if you don't choose to have a positive attitude, you almost certainly will have a negative attitude. Because a negative attitude is almost like a default. You see? If you don't choose to have a positive attitude, you will almost certainly have a negative one. Because a positive attitude is a deliberate choice that you make. A positive attitude is an on-purpose choice that you make. A positive attitude is an intentional choice that you make. You make that choice. And you can make that choice any time, at any minute of your life. You make that choice to have a positive attitude by writing a program and saying it out loud. Okay? Now, here is the program that you write, and here's what you say out loud. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. I'm going to repeat it. That is the program that you write and you say it out loud. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. And put your feet on the path to do exactly that, to develop and maintain a positive attitude. Positive attitude is a lifelong process. A positive attitude is like, I'm doing a helpful hand visual right now. It's like a plug. A positive attitude is like a plug that you hold in your hand. and you plug it into your spirit. You plug it into your soul, and it electrifies you. That's what it does. A positive attitude electrifies you and kicks you in your ass and into a higher gear and more vibrancy in your own life. Now, ass ain't a bad word, a cuss word, so I said ass. I cuss like a sailor, y'all, but I don't cuss on my live, so I couldn't wait to cuss when I was a little girl, So both my parents cussed. They're both gone now, bless their hearts and their souls. Uh, so I couldn't wait to cuss, but I say a lot of stuff that they didn't say. Okay? So, but like I said, I cuss like a sailor, but I don't cuss on my lives. I am a lady in public, and I consider my lives to be public. Okay? So now, um, positive attitude. If you must choose to have a positive attitude, and you can choose to have it. That's what the program says. From now on, that means this point forward. So you can tell everybody in your family, your friends, say, don't throw up to me what my attitude was like yesterday or last week or last year. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. Share the live, y'all, because I would love to share this advice with a whole lot more people. Like I told you, I tell Pap all the time that I live a virtually stress-free life. And I tell Papa all the time that I live an enchanted life, okay? For real. Because I don't allow all this outside stuff to get inside of me. And that's what y'all are doing. In a lot of cases, a lot of y'all are allowing external stuff to get inside of you. Don't allow that to happen, okay? So now, positive attitude versus a negative attitude. Almost nothing good comes from developing and maintaining a negative attitude. Now, I'm going to show you what a negative attitude looks like. You heard that correctly. I'm going to show you what a negative attitude looks like. On the count of 3, I'm going to show you. 1, 2, 3. Here you go, y'all. This is a negative attitude. These are people, share the live, y'all. These are people that say, and it doesn't cost you 1 penny to share this live. So hopefully y'all will think that what I'm saying is worthy of other people hearing it, so that's all I'm trying to do is help people to undifficult their life. Okay. So people like this, a negative attitude. Woe is me. My life sucks. I can't stand this. I can't stand that. Complain, complain, complain. Now, what my hands are doing right now, this is a helpful hand visual. This is symbolizing positive elements. They are constantly flying through the universe. Positive elements constantly flying through the universe. They never, ever stop. So, but now when you say, from now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. Now, with this negative attitude that you have, like right now, these are positive elements flying through the universe. They always fly over the heads of people who have a negative attitude. You see that? They fly over the heads of people who have a negative attitude. All you have to do is write this program and say it out loud. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. And on the count of 3, I'm going to tell you what will happen when you do that. 1, 2, 3. Now you can see what's going to happen. All right? What was flying over your heads because of that negative attitude is now making contact with your psyche. You see that? When you have a positive attitude, portals open up to you. Windows, doors, all kinds of stuff, good stuff rushes in. It's all, it's always out there. But it don't, most of y'all have heard that what you put out is what comes back. It's like life is like a boomerang, and I'm doing another helpful hand visual. So what you put out, you're putting out positive, positive is coming back to you. You putting out positive, positive is coming back to you. You see, you're putting out positive, positive is coming back to you. I'm only doing that so that y'all can see what I'm doing on this little bitty telephone screen, okay? So when this, I call it a conveyor belt. All of this is positivity, going out and coming back, going out and coming back. This conveyor belt is as big as the universe, y'all. You understand? Imagine that. Visualize that. You see? It's as big as the universe. And when you say those words out loud, a lot of people will tell you say it in your mind. I say no. You say it out loud. When you say it only in your mind, that's using one element. One element. It comes in your mind. It's in your mind. Now, when you say it out loud, it's three elements. Three elements, y'all. You speak it out of your mouth, you hear it with your ears, and it gets plastered into your psyche. That's why you say it out loud. Okay. Now, I want to tell y'all, don't put in comments that are like 3 or more lines. I don't have time to read them. I look up here. That's where I look. I see the comments coming in, but I don't have time to read them. So if you put in a whole big long comment, it's unlikely. Now, occasionally, well, I do, I look down kind of regularly, but I don't time myself. But I do look down to read some of the comments, okay? So now Green Arrow says sound, mind, and spirit. Thank you. Thank you. So unappreciative for engagement, I don't know what that means. So now I do, my whole thing is this. I have 4 pillars of advice to share with y'all to help y'all to undifficult your life. I cannot read the comments, all of them. I can't read all the comments. I don't have time. I have 90 minutes to share with y'all all the advice that I have to share that will help you with your life, okay? So you'll see as I go along. Now, where was I? It's always about positive attitude and negative attitude. Now, I showed y'all what a negative attitude looks like. These are people that, woe is me, my life sucks. Don't be that kind of person, So now I'm going to read y'all a list of words that will help you to identify people in your life that probably have a negative attitude, and it might be you. But like I said, don't worry, because you can change to a positive attitude at any minute of your life. It is your choice. All you have to do is say out loud, from now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. Now, I'm going to read y'all these list of words. And I'm also going to read you a list of words that will guide you on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. Now, here are the words that are going to help you identify people in your life who probably have a negative attitude. These words are words that describe personality traits, personality characteristics. So, like I said, if these words fit you and your personality, you can change it anytime you choose, any minute of your life. You can choose to have a positive attitude. Here are the words that will help you to identify people in your life who probably have a negative attitude. Anger, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment and holding grudges, inferiority, lies and dishonesty, false pride, superiority, and the last word is ego. Back up to the top. The very first word is anger. Anger. Do you know people who are full of anger? People who are angry? Are you the one who is full of anger, who is angry? That is negative. How about resentment and holding grudges? Do you know people who are full of resentment? People who hold grudges? Are you the one who's full of resentment, who holds grudges against other people? That is negative too. I'm going to come back to it, but I'm going to move on to lies and dishonesty. Do you know people who lie? People who are dishonest? Are you the one who is the liar? Are you the one who is dishonest? That is negative too. Okay? So now, back up to resentment and holding grudges. If you are full of resentment and if you hold grudges, grudges cannot be inherited. I've never heard that before in my life. Grudges can be, no, they cannot be. You don't inherit a grudge. You carry it on willingly or because you've been brainwashed to do it, but you need to be thinking for yourself. That's the bottom line. Think for yourself. So now, if you hold, or if you are full of resentment, if you hold grudges, I'm going to tell you something that you probably have never heard before. That is, you are living in the past. Oh, thanks, William. You are living in the past because you are holding on to something that happened. Past tense. Past tense. There is nothing that the people who did this to you can do about it to change it. There is nothing that you can do about it to change it. Okay? You can't do anything. So you must forgive them. You absolutely must forgive them. There are those who say forgive and forget. Hell no. Hell no. You don't ever forget, but you must forgive. And I don't care who it was or what they did or said. You must forgive them because you're doing damage to yourself. When you hold on to resentment and hold grudges against other people, it creates what I call an invisible internal burden on your cells, on your blood, on your organs, on your spirit, on your soul, on your entire being. Look around you, people, at people that you know hold grudges or are full of resentment. In a lot of cases, those people are on pharmaceutical medications. They have failing health issues or bad health, negative health issues. And they're not aging gracefully because when you hold resentment and you hold grudges, you are the one who suffers the consequences. All those words I just read you, anger, resentment, holding grudges, lying, regret, guilt, arrogance, all of those. I call them the uglies. I call them the uglies. The uglies, think about it, they only damage or do harm to the person who holds on to them. You see? Now, a lot of people are holding on to resentment and grudges. And they may or may not be holding on to the same ones that you are because you're holding the grudge and all of that against them. they may be holding a grudge against somebody else for a whole nother reason. So it's grudges everywhere. But forgiveness, you have to forgive. And it doesn't matter who it is or what they did. But don't forget, you always keep it on the back burner on that stove, but don't hold it, don't, hold resentment about it. Stay keeping it on the stove. That way you will never forget. So keep it on the stove. You would be an idiot to forget. So forgive and forget. Hell no, don't you ever do that. So you forgive. But now, I'm 81 years old. And when I was a kid, I'm going to tell y'all how you forgive. I'm going to give the advice that I share is like a blueprint for real. Okay. Now, I'm 81. When I was a kid, there was no such thing as text messages, email, video calls, none of that stuff. So you can use any of those technologies. I'm a retired executive assistant, so I'm not unfamiliar with computerization, okay? So you can use any one of those technologies to forgive them. Send them a text message and tell them you forgive them. But if you don't ever want to have anything else to do with them, and oh, another thing, when you forgive, that doesn't mean you go back into their lives or they come back into yours. But that's a beautiful thing if all of y'all agree to that, okay? But that's not what's required. When you forgive, all that's what required from the universe is that you just forgive them. So now, where was I? I was talking about, I'm always talking about forgiveness. So now, here. There was no such thing as all of these technologies, all this stuff that you can communicate with. You can use any of those to do that. But if you don't want to have anything else to do with them, you can forgive them by saying it out loud. Always say whatever your intentions are. You say it out loud. Whenever you want to change your behavior, you say it out loud. So to forgive them is definitely changing your behavior because you've been carrying this crap around and it's doing damage to you. You may be already in poor health and not even understanding why or what it could possibly be. And it could be that you're holding on to resentment and holding grudges and holding on to unforgiveness and all that kind of stuff. You see, holding on to ugliness will put you in bad health. So you can forgive them by saying it out loud to the universe. Now, I always say this in my lives. The universe was there when the mess happened to you, okay? When it happened, the universe was there. And I always say this. Do you understand that the universe sees everything you do right now, hears everything you say right now, reads your thoughts right now? Yeah, now when I make that statement, every live that I do, I'm going to ask this question. And it amazes me how many yeses I get. So I'm getting ready to ask y'all the question. When I just said that the universe sees everything we do right now, hears everything we say right now, reads our thoughts right now. So you can replace that with we and with you. So, okay, so hears everything you say, sees everything you do. He reads your thoughts, okay? So now, when I made that statement, I asked this question. Did my making that statement to y'all, did it bring it to the forefront of your consciousness and make you really think about, from now on, what you do, say, and think? Come on, give me some responses. YouTube says that I got 235 people on here. Come on, give me some responses. Share the live, y'all. Okay. All right, good. Wonderful. It amazes me how many yeses I get because people don't really bring it to the forefront of their mind that God or the universe or whatever you call your higher power sees everything you do, hears everything you say, and reads your thoughts right now, right now, right now. Okay? So it amazes me how I get so many yeses. So I'm just thankful that I'm bringing it to people's attention and putting it into the forefront of their minds. See, that's wonderful. No, I don't do religion on my lives. My moderators will take care of you. No religion, no politics. Okay. Now you can go someplace else to do that religion or politics. I don't do it on my lives. Okay. I don't want to. Don't talk about Jesus or the Bible or anything. I have no use for religion or politics. Religion, I talk to God all day long, and God ain't got no religion, y'all. No. So religion, I have no use for. Politics, I have no use for. I depend on the universe. Okay, so now, when you forgive, you can say it out loud to the universe. And here is what you say. Universe, I forgive so and so for doing such and such to me. Okay? I'm going to repeat it. Universe, I forgive so and so for doing such and such to me. Okay? Now, you use your hand the way I use my hand because it symbolizes you touching spirit, you touching the universe. Now, I'm going to give y'all 4 examples of what has happened on our lives. Share the live, y'all, because I would love to be able to share this advice with a whole lot more people. Now, I'm giving you 4 examples of people who have done this. The first example is a young lady who said, I forgave my dad that way. And I immediately burst into tears. Second young lady said, I forgave myself that way. And you can forgive yourself. She said, I forgave myself that way. And I immediately burst into tears. The third one was a young man. And he said, I forgave and I felt my spirit shift. That's what happens, okay? Now, I'm going to save the fourth example is Patricia, but I'm going to go to her in a few minutes. So those 3 people, the 2 young ladies who burst into tears, and the young man who felt his spirit shift. Oh, thank you. I told y'all earlier, some of y'all weren't on here, but y'all can do a replay. My YouTube posts all my lives. I love that. TikTok didn't do that because I think the longest you can do a video is 10 minutes, and my lives are 90 minutes, okay? So now, where was I? I'll get back. Yes, when I told y'all earlier, when you hold on to the uglies, they create an invisible internal burden on your spirit, on your soul, on your cells, on your blood, on your organs. And when you release that, that's pressure on your spirit, on your entire being. When you forgive them, it's what the Shelster calls a pressure release valve. When you forgive, this is what happens. That's why they burst into tears. That's why he felt his spirit shift, because they don't even know, and you don't know, those of you who are holding on to resentment and holding grudges, carrying grudges, that you are creating a burden on your soul. When you forgive, That's what I'm saying. You forgive for yourself. You don't forgive for them. You're not letting them off the hook. You're letting you off the hook because you're creating problems in your own health. That you're putting yourself at greater risk of creating health problems when you are full of resentment and when you carry grudges against other people. So now, here are the words that will guide you on your path to develop and maintain a positive attitude. Joy. Now, I like that because that's the first three letters of my name. Joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, empathy, generosity, truth and honesty, compassion, and the last word is faith. So, like I said, you can choose to have a positive attitude at any moment of your life. It is a deliberate, on purpose, intentional choice that you make. You see? You choose to have a positive attitude. And the way you choose it, thank you. I recycle my frames. These frames are over 30 years old. Yeah. So the way you choose to have a positive attitude is you write a program. And the way you write a program is you say it out loud. And here is what you say. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. Okay, so now I'm going to ask y'all a question. Well, no, I'm not going to ask the question yet. I'm going to tell you. You live your life by a ratio. 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 Nobody can have a positive attitude 100% of the time, and nobody can have a negative attitude 100% of the time. That's why you live your life by a ratio. Now I'm going to ask this question. YouTube says I have 182 people on here, and I want y'all to share this live because the advice that I share will help y'all to undifficult your life, for real. Let me think now. I've got to remember where I was. I rewind. I have so much advice to share with y'all that the advice really works. Yes, a ratio. So you live your life by a ratio. Like I said, nobody can have a positive attitude 100% of the time, and nobody can have a negative attitude 100% of the time. Therefore, you live your life by a ratio. Now, I only want responses that say no to this question that I'm getting ready to ask. Did you know that you live your life by a ratio? RATIO. And I'm going to explain exactly what a ratio is. Hey, Kyle. I'm going to explain how you use it, all of that, okay? So now I'm waiting for responses. I'm only looking for responses that say no. Did you know that you live your life by a ratio? RATIO. Okay? I'm looking for responses that say no. I'm not looking for yeses, greens. Okay. All right, good. Good deal. Now, I'm going to explain exactly what a ratio is, and I'm going to explain exactly how you use it, okay? A ratio is a very simple tool that will definitely, I said, it will definitely help you to better control your life. Okay, so I'm going to say some things that will probably help you. I hope so. Now, a ratio, I'm going to repeat that. A ratio is a very simple tool that will definitely help you to better control your life. You and you alone are in control of setting your ratio. You and you alone can adjust your ratio, okay? If you set your ratio too high, you can lower it. If you set your ratio too low, you can raise it. But you are the only one that sets it and controls it. Nobody else. Now, I'm going to share with y'all what my ratio is so that you can understand it a lot better. My ratio is 80-20. 80-20. 80% positive, 20% negative. So that means 80-20. Now, some people on my lives have chosen 75-25, 60-40. One person chose 50-50. I said, no, that's too low for me. I couldn't stand to be half the time I'm positive, half the time I'm negative. No way. I got to lean more towards positive always, at all times. So my ratio is 80-20. I don't own it. Anybody can choose it. So that means with my ratio, what it means is 80% of the time, I am happy being in the positive attitude mode. 20% of the time, I am okay with being in the negative attitude mode. I didn't say I was happy being there, okay? So now, back over to the positive attitude mode. 80% of the time, I honor the programs that I write. 80% of the time, I do what is fair, what is right, what is kind, what is respectful, what is all kinds of positive things. 80% of the time, that's where I am in my positive attitude mode. The advice that I share is for anybody 10 years old or older. It's very general advice that will help you to undifficult your life. So now, that's 80% of the time. I do all these wonderful things. I'm kind, I'm considerate, all of that, okay? So 20% of the time, I'm okay with being in the negative attitude mode, but that negative attitude mode can never include three things. Three things. So now, those three things are, number one, you cannot be physically abusive. You can't hit people. You can't throw things. Number two, you can't be verbally abusive. You can't cuss anybody out. You can't insult anybody. And number three, thanks to one of my viewers, her username is Midnight. She asked me to include tone of voice, and I was happy to do so because it ain't what you say, it's how you say it. You see? So you cannot use an ugly tone of voice to anybody. So those three things, as long as you don't have those three things in your negative attitude mode, you're okay. You see? So now, I'm going to show y'all how you write a program. Let me think here. Hold on. I'm trying to think if I got it all with the ratio. Now, okay, I'm going to ask you this question. Do you think you'll be able to use that ratio? You're going to create your own ratio? I think people have already been saying that. Come on. Come on. Can you use that ratio example? Good. Good deal. All right. Well, as long as you use 80%, 20%, whatever your ratio is, that helps you, it guides you uh, to better control your life. Now, I'm going to show you an example. This is a behavior that I don't have. I just use this to show y'all you can change any behavior that you have. You cannot change other people's behaviors. That's part of what's wrong with this world. People trying to change other people's behaviors. It cannot be done. You can change your own behavior, and that's it. It's the same thing for everybody. So when you are trying to control or change somebody else's behavior, they're looking back at you, not saying anything necessarily, but saying it to themselves. Why in the hell don't you work on yourself? Okay? You got a lot of stuff to improve. So if we all work on ourselves, the world would be a better place. Stop trying to make other people change their behaviors. Unless you're raising kids, then that's a whole different thing. Okay? When you're trying to change a person's behavior and they're grown. Okay? So don't do that. Now, y'all said the ratio will help you. This is another helpful hand visual. Oh, I didn't. Okay, I was getting ready to tell y'all. See, when I rewind, I over, let's say 80% of the time, it comes back to me. So I was getting ready to tell y'all about the behavior. So I'm going to use this example, and you can take this example and put it on any behavior that you have that you want to change. Okay? So now, here is the example. And I don't do this, but I'm using it as an example. This is the behavior, and then I'm going to tell y'all the program that I write to change that behavior. I want y'all to share the live because I would really love to share this advice with a whole lot more people. And I would like to think that y'all want this a whole lot more people to hear it, okay? So show me that, y'all, by sharing the live. Now, here is the behavior. I told you I'm going to share with you this behavior, and then I'm going to share with you the program that I write to overcome it. So now, here's the behavior, which is not true. I'm just using it as an example. I eat 12 cookies every day. I do not want to eat 12 cookies every day. Thank you, everybody, for sharing the live. I truly appreciate it because the advice that I share with y'all, I live it. The advice that I share with y'all, I actually live it. I know that it works. I'm 81 years old. I have been using this advice since I was about 10 years old. I live it, and I know it works. And I want to help y'all to live a virtually stress-free life, okay? So now, where was I? The example. I eat 12 cookies every day. No, I don't. I do not want to eat 12 cookies every day. Here's the program that I write to overcome that behavior. I eat 12 cookies every day. I do not want to eat 12 cookies every day. Starting tomorrow, I will eat 10 cookies. Tomorrow comes and you eat 10 cookies. Thank you. And all these other days they come in the weeks and months, you're still eating 10 cookies. Now, using your ratio, mine is 80-20. That means that 80% of the time, I will eat 10 cookies. You see? 20% of the time, I can go back up to 11 or 12. Go back up to it, okay? But most of the time, you will honor the program that you wrote. You see? You're not going to make yourself a liar too often, okay? So don't do that to yourself, okay? But now that's wiggle room. That 20%, that's cheating room. That's wiggle room. I can go back up to 11 or 12 if I want to, okay? But most of the time, I won't want to. Oh, thank you. Yes, so you see, there you go. Now I had a viewer on my live. She had an eating disorder, and yeah, that's healing room. Okay, that's good too. I like that. She said in her comment, and I posted it on, I'm on TikTok as well, y'all. I post to TikTok every day. And I only do my lives here on YouTube. I have done over 500 TikTok lives. I love doing them. And I share the same 4 pillars of advice, y'all. I've been doing these lives for almost 2 years now that I've been doing these lives. So I love doing them. I love sharing this advice with y'all. So she had an eating disorder. See, I remember where I was. And this is a comment that she posted on my live. And my moderators take screenshots of the comments that people make and they send them to me. And so I posted it on my TikTok page. On TikTok, I am the letter J, Fields, Fields, and the number 7. J Fields 7. Okay. All right. So, all right. Now I'm reading some comments now. Uh-huh. Okay. All right. So now, where was I? Hold on. I got to rewind, y'all, to remember where I was. Oh, yeah, the eating disorder. So this comment she put on my live, she said, I went from eating 6 meals a day to 5 to 4, and now I'm at 3 because of her advice, talking about my advice. So she was at 6 meals a day, and now she's at 3 meals a day. So you can do it. You know, it's all about your own internal fortitude. Okay. So that's how you can change your own behavior. Take control of yourself, you know. Now, Spirit gives me all these helpful hand visuals. I don't make them up. So now, this is a negative attitude. This is a helpful hand visual. Negative attitude. This is spirit and inner peace. Okay? Look. Spirit and inner peace cannot get in. They cannot get through a negative attitude. A negative attitude repels spirit. A negative attitude repels inner peace. So, this is a positive attitude. Positive attitude. You can see what's going to happen. Along comes inner peace and spirit. They not only do they get through, but they turn around and encase your entire being. That's what happens when you have a positive attitude. And spirit will not come to you if you have a negative attitude. Inner peace will not come to you if you have a negative attitude. That makes sense to me. You know, you are repelling it. You are repelling inner peace. You are repelling spirit. Your attitude is doing it. Not you, but it's your attitude. Change your attitude. It's 2 different things. You is one thing and your attitude is another. Okay? So now, inner peace. Spirit came to me and told me, it said, Joyce, there's such a thing as outer peace. Yeah, I said, huh? Yes, Spirit said there is such a thing as outer peace. Now, inner peace can never be destroyed. Inner peace can never be disturbed. But outer peace can be disturbed. Outer peace can be destroyed. And I always give the same examples. For instance, if you are studying or trying to sleep and somebody is making noises in the room where you are, or next door or down the hall or across the street, that is disturbing your outer peace. There is a law on the books in probably every state in this country disturbing the peace. You can call the cops on somebody that's disturbing the peace. You see, but inner peace can never be disturbed, can never be destroyed. But you must have a positive attitude to get inner peace. You must have a positive attitude for spirit to come to you. You see? So now, talking about outer peace, if anybody in your family or among your friends, and it's usually people in your family, doing things to disturb your peace, it's your outer peace, be kind, be considerate. Don't cuss them out if they're disturbing your peace. I'm going to suggest a way to handle that. Just say to them, I love y'all dearly. I really and truly love y'all dearly. But when y'all do such and such, or when y'all say such and such, that disturbs my peace. And now, keep in mind that they are not obligated to change their behavior because you told them that what they are doing or saying is disturbing your peace. But you're obligated to tell them, you must not allow anybody to disturb your peace. That includes your mama. And I'm going to give you some advice on how you deal with that as well. Deal with your mama. So now you have to tell them that what they're doing is disturbing your peace. You give them enough time, watch them carefully, see if they are going to change their behavior. Then if you see that they're not, then you have the responsibility, the obligation to come back at them and say, now I told y'all I love y'all dearly. I truly do. But when y'all do such and such and when y'all say such and such, that disturbs my peace. Y'all still doing it. That leaves me no choice. I must protect my peace. And I give y'all 3 options. Option 1, I have to feed y'all with a long handled spoon. Option 2, I have to love y'all from a distance. Option 3, I have to stop coming around y'all. Okay, so very clear. Now, if it's your mama that's disturbing your peace, here's your mama disturbing your peace. Another helpful hand visual, y'all. And here you are coming in getting your peace disturbed. Share the live, y'all. I still have quite a bit of time left, about half an hour. So share the live. More people can hear this advice, I hope. So here you are coming in getting your peace disturbed. All of these actions take place after you write the program, saying out loud, from now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. That's all of this is after you say those, write that program and say it out loud. So now here's your mama disturbing your peace. You tell her, Mama, I love you dearly. I truly do. But when you do such and such, or when you say such and such, that disturbs my peace. Now, some mamas will say, what peace? Or, you ain't got no peace. Okay, leave her alone. That's mama. When you wrote that program and said it out loud, from now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. You raised your frequency. You raised your vibration, you see? Now, your mama is still down here doing it, but you are no longer down here on this frequency, on this vibration. You're up here now, you see? So you are now able to look at her behavior or whoever it is, okay? And it doesn't bother you anymore because you raised your frequency, you raised your vibration. You're not on that level. So now you can look at them. And not only that, but now you should never have allowed anybody to trigger you into that place where they were disturbing your peace. Don't allow, look at people's behavior and say, well, I'm glad that I don't act like that, okay? So, I have a book of quotes that I close my lives with. And one of them is unkind people show you how not to be. Okay? So be thankful that, you can see how they are. So now, um, I'm trying to think if I have finished with pillar number 1. I told y'all about the ratio. I told you the example of how you change your own behavior. I told y'all how you write the program. Here's what you say. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. And put yourself on that path to do just that. Okay, so now, that's pillar number 1. Pillar number 2, increase your level of patience. If you are 10 years old or older, I tell you exactly how you increase your own level of patience. But I always start with the toddlers. If you're raising toddlers, it's real easy to teach them patience. When that toddler asks for a cookie, tell that toddler, I'll give you that cookie in 5 minutes. Put yourself on the timer. Give that toddler that cookie in 5 minutes. Always use a timer in all of this, all throughout this exercise. And then do that for several times for 5 minutes. Stretch it to 10 minutes. Do that several times, still on the timer. Stretch it to 15 minutes, all the way up to an hour or more. Not only will you be teaching that toddler patience, you will also be teaching that toddler how to feel time, how to feel elapsed time, okay? Now, Spirit came to me and told me that, Joyce, you can teach your viewers how they can teach themselves how to feel time, how to feel elapsed time. Oh, I got a lot more than, okay, for real. How to feel elapsed time. So you're going to need a piece of paper and something to write with. So I'm going to drink some water and I'll count to 10. And I'll give you some time to get the tools together. So I'm going to count to 10. Excuse me. Water. I got ginger in here and lemon juice. Okay, now, you ready? Now, on that piece of paper, write down the time it is right now. Put the paper away. Doesn't matter what time zone you're in. Put the paper away. And at some point later, whatever amount of time, doesn't matter, try to guess what the time is at that point. So not only will you be practicing on feeling elapsed time, do this throughout the day, every day. I do it all day long, but I don't need any pencil or paper or anything like that, and you'll get to the point where you don't need it either, because it'll just become a matter of course for you, a matter of your day. This teaches you to zoom in on the passage of time. Each minute passes. You will be zooming in on the passage of time. So, do you think you can use that exercise? Come on, give me some responses, y'all. Give me some responses. Do you think you can use that exercise to teach yourself how to feel time, how to feel elapsed time? Come on. YouTube says I have 109 people on here. So, give me some responses, y'all. Good. Thank you, Gail. Teach yourself how to feel time, how to feel elapsed time. Oh, good. I got a lot of yeses. Wonderful. Yes, definitely. I like that. Good. Thank you. Okay, wonderful. Really glad to hear that. So now, if you are raising toddlers, I highly recommend this book, Mother's Dozen, an easy recipe for raising great kids. I had it translated into Spanish, Madre Docena. I don't speak Spanish, so I can't say the rest of the title. Mother's Dozen, an easy recipe for raising great kids. It's 48 pages. It's $7.99 at goodshortbooks.com. Oh, you're very welcome, Gail. This book will guide you into raising kids that you can admire. Yeah, guide you into raising kids that you can admire, for real. Now, this says Mother's Dozen. Dozen is 12. An easy recipe. Recipe suggests that there are ingredients. 12 ingredients. The last ingredient is patience. I have a chapter on patience in this book. It makes a great gift for expectant parents or for parents raising toddlers. The foreword was written by the late Reverend Cecil L. Murray. Thank you, Melissa. And the late Reverend Cecil L. Murray, he was the pastor of one of the biggest churches out here in Los Angeles. Me and Pap live right outside of Pasadena. And this is the foreword that he wrote for this book. I'm just going to read the first paragraph. Here's what Reverend Murray said. Mother's Dozen is a handbook of excellence in raising children. It systematizes the rules passed from generation to generation regarding preparing children for the world to come. Yes. Mother's Dozen. This book will guide you into raising kids that you can admire. Now, I wrote it, oh, wow. Yeah, you're very welcome. I wrote this book in 2003. Wow. I don't even think about the years that I wrote. I wrote my first book in 1997. So this book, I wrote it in 2003. And I wanted to, I was seeing mothers in the stores and all of that. They were doing things, they're at the mercy of the tempers of their toddlers. I call it the tempers of their toddlers. And you should never, ever allow your toddlers to control you. Now, you make the first mistake when you bring them home from the hospital after being born. You adjust your life for the baby. No, you don't. You don't do that. The baby adjusts its life for you. That's the way you teach your children to live in your household. You see? So no, you start them off in the crib, honey. But now you let them stay in the room with you until they're, I don't know, like maybe 3 months or 6 weeks, something like that. But you got those baby monitors now. That is how you teach them to be independent. Don't be letting them stay in the room with you. When they're old enough to go, now I think my son was 6 months old when he had his own room. I moved him to his own room. I think he was 6 months old. But at any rate, you got to start them out being independent. And you raise children to be contributors to the world. Don't raise your kids to be dependent or to be belligerent or, and a lot of these kids now are talking back to their parents. Oh my God. Okay, okay, that's enough. I don't, you can tell I'm, okay. It gets me, y'all, how people are raising their kids. Oh, they're so materialistic. Teach your kids stuff that money can't buy. To be fair, to be kind, to be honest, all of those things. So now that book, Mother's Dozen, an easy recipe for raising great kids. Now, if you're 10 years old or older, thank you. You can teach yourself patience too. How do you do it? You make yourself wait. You write a program. You say to yourself out loud. Well, you do say it out loud. Don't say it just to, when I say to yourself, you say it out loud. I am teaching myself patience. I am teaching myself how to wait. And the way you do it is, if it's something that you are fiending for, make yourself wait. I have 2 grown sons. Dale and everybody that is curious about it. I have 2 grown sons, 8 grandchildren, 4 great grandchildren, and 1 great great grandson. Okay. So I'm 81 years old. I do these YouTube lives. I've done over 500 TikTok lives. And so now I still post to TikTok. And I still have subscriber videos up. So if you're interested in quotes, you can go over there. I have 125 subscriber only videos. If you love quotes, I'm going to go through at the end of my live because I have a book of quotes, and that's what I close my lives out with that. So now, if you are 10 years old or older, you make yourself wait and you say it out loud. I am teaching myself patience. I am increasing my own level of patience. And especially if it's something that you are fiending for and it's something that you normally would give yourself immediate gratification. So make yourself wait. And if you make yourself wait past the point where you no longer want it, that's fabulous. Because that means that you are stronger than it. You always were, but you never challenge yourself. Make yourself wait. That's all you got to do. Teach yourself patience. Now, pillar number 3 is stay calm. Stay calm. There is tremendous power in your ability to stay calm. You lose your power when you become angry. So don't make yourself less powerful by becoming angry. Stay calm and be more powerful. Yes, stay calm. Now, Spirit gave me this helpful hand visual, or these 2. I'm going to do 2 helpful hand visuals for Spirit, for pillar number 3, stay calm. I had never used the word neurons before in any of my lives, but one live this year was a TikTok live. Spirit came to me and told me I was talking about staying calm as opposed to becoming angry. So Spirit told me to use the word neurons, and I knew that neurons were part of the brain. I didn't know much else. And then, so I used the word neurons, and this is the helpful hand visual that Spirit gave me. It was like this. This is when you're calm. Your neurons in your brain are going past each other, communicating with each other, and this is when you are calm, you see? All right. As opposed to, Spirit gave me this helpful hand visual, when you are angry. Here you go. Your neurons, this is what your neurons are doing, y'all, when you are angry, you see? So there's a big advantage to your ability to stay calm. Now, that was during the morning when I was doing my live. Later that same evening, Spirit came back to me. Here is my hand, honest to goodness, y'all. Spirit came back to me and blew me away and said, look up what neurons do. I never would have looked up what neurons do. I never even thought about my, my neurons, really. And so I obeyed. So I Googled it. And here is what Google said neurons do. Neurons work together to produce memories, make decisions, and compute information. They take chemical signals, transport them, and form new wiring within the brain. Neurons also help different parts of the brain to communicate with each other. Okay. Yes. That's why you can't think straight when you become angry. That's why you can't make good decisions when you become angry or frustrated. That's why you can't make good choices. You know, you do things that you're sorry for doing. You say things that you're sorry for saying. You are out of control. Your neurons are out of whack. That means you are out of whack. So the next time you become angry or you feel yourself becoming angry, remember your neurons. Think about your neurons. You want them to be like this, calmly floating past each other or however they do it in your brain. I'm just using it as an example, okay? Thank you, Sydney. So this is how you want them to be. Not this. Look. This is when you're angry. This is what your neurons are doing. You want to stay calm. Do yourself a favor. The next time you start to become angry, remember your neurons. Okay, now, Chrissy, I'm going to talk about stress in pillar number 4. Now, that was pillar number 3, stay calm. I did the 2 helpful hand visuals to show you when you're calm, when you're calm, when you're calm, when you're angry. This is what your neurons are doing when you're angry. So don't do that to yourself. Stay calm. Think about your neurons. Pillar number 4, remember the 4 words that can immediately lower your stress, anxiety, panic, anger, frustration, or whatever ugliness is inside of you. And those 4 words are, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. Nothing in life is permanent. No situation, no scenario, nothing lasts. Not even us as people. We use the word pass when we're talking about death. We'll say he passed last week, she passed yesterday. Okay? This too shall pass. Nothing is permanent. Remember those 4 words. The next time you are getting chewed out by your mama or your daddy, they cannot read your mind. So be sitting there or whatever, getting chewed out, and think, this too shall pass. She ain't gonna be fussing at me forever. Or this too shall pass. He ain't gonna be fussing at me forever. You see? So this too shall pass. Nothing lasts. Just remember, this too shall pass. Powerful. These 4 pillars. Pillar number 1. Okay, I'm just reading some of the comments. I like you too, Neil. Okay. Gotta get a screenshot of that. A lot of nice comments there. Papa's asleep right now, and when he wakes up, I read the comments to him. Thank you. Yeah, y'all are very welcome. So, Chrissy, did that help you? You asked directly about stress. Thanks, Cindy. These frames are over 30 years old. I recycle my frames. So, pillar number 1, I shared the 4 pillars with y'all. I live a virtually stress-free life, y'all. And I have a TikTok video. I told y'all my username is JJ, the letter J, the letter J. JJ Fields, Fields, and the number 7 on TikTok. And I have a video on there, and it's labeled. I have a lot of content on TikTok. And so it's labeled erect your own force field. Erect your own force field. I have a force field up. And nothing gets into my core unless I choose for it to get into my core. I bring stuff in if I want it to be in, okay? So I show y'all how to do that. So go over there to TikTok, and I don't think it's on YouTube. I got a lot of stuff on YouTube too, but I have more stuff on TikTok. I really liked TikTok a whole lot better, but they changed their rules, and so now I still post over there every day. I still post inspiring, helpful, useful content, and but I do my lives now only on YouTube. I used to do my lives on TikTok as well, but now I do my lives on YouTube. Yes. Okay, thanks, Takeout. So now, pillar number 1, develop and maintain a positive attitude. Oh, wonderful. Spread the word for me, Sydney. Pass the word, everybody. Um, so develop and maintain a positive attitude. And I told y'all how you do it. You write a program and you say it out loud. This is what you say. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. And set your feet on that path to maintain that positive attitude. It's a lifelong process, y'all, and you can decide to have a positive attitude at any minute of your life. It is a choice. You choose to have a positive attitude. Pillar number 2, increase your level of patience. I told you if you're 10 years old, you make yourself wait. That is the way you increase your own level of patience, okay? And if you're raising toddlers, I told you how you do that using Cookie as an example. And I also recommended that you get Mother's Dozen, an easy recipe for raising great kids. It's 48 pages. It's $7.99 at goodshortbooks.com. The link is in my profile. There are 11 nonfiction books there in 9 different genres. 11 books. My sister wrote 1 and I wrote 10. So here are the genres: memoirs, parenting, relationships, children's education, fairy tales. My fairy tale is nonfiction because it deals with a very serious subject. Bullying, original quotes, health, and spirituality. So those, and the books are flying off the shelves, y'all, because people are coming onto my lives and they're learning about the books. So they're flying off the shelves. The books will delight you. They will inspire you. They will motivate you. They will entertain you. They will encourage you. They will do all kinds of good stuff. They're all nonfiction. So check it out. They're available on Amazon as well. But now back to the pillars. And then pillar number 2, I told y'all about increase your level of patience. Pillar number 3, stay calm. There is tremendous power in your ability to stay calm. Stay calm, y'all, for real. Remember your neurons. Let them do like this. Okay. All right, do that. Now I'm going to do a screenshot here. All right. Stay calm, y'all. Your neurons should be like this. Stop. Instead of this when you're angry. Remember your neurons when you become angry. Think about your neurons. Now, pillar number 4, remember the 4 words that can immediately lower your stress, anxiety, panic, anger, frustration. Those 4 words are, this too shall pass. This too shall pass, y'all. Nothing lasts forever. Now, if you enjoyed my live, think about doing a video or a post telling people what you got out of the advice that I share. Help me spread the word about the advice that I share. If you got something of value from it, then help me to do that. I want to thank y'all for joining my live, and I always close it out with this book, My Simple Quotes to Live By. It's 90 pages. Yeah, the link is on my profile, goodshortbooks.com. It's 90 pages. This book is 90 pages. It's $7.99, and it's 167 quotes that I coined. I'm going to read y'all this 5-star review from Brian. Brian says, this is a great book to help open your mind. There are an unlimited amount of resources to learn from. You get wisdom, positivity, self-discipline, appreciation for being alive, and so much more in this easy read. This is a book you will save and review over and over again. I highly recommend buying the hard copy of it so you can write in it and highlight quotes that speak to you. This is a must-have, and he has a lot of exclamation marks after must-have, okay? So now I coined my first quote when I was 15 years old, and I'm 81 now. And that quote states, "Never lose your hope and faith." Never lose your hope and faith. I coined this, my first quote, in 1959 at the age of 15. The occasion was my middle school graduation from Detroit's Sherrard Junior High School. Ninth graders were asked to document their message to their fellow classmates. Okay, and that's what I said. I don't remember saying it, and I don't remember, I didn't know that I was coining a quote. But now I'm going to read y'all a quote that I coined in 2011 or 13. It was for a quote contest. I do remember that, and I did know that I was coining a quote. So it was for a quote contest, and it was for a calendar, so they needed 12 quotes. Thank you. And so I coined this quote, and then I submitted it to the contest. And it won as one of 12 for the calendar out of over 5,000 entries. Okay? So here is the quote. I posted to social media to encourage people to chase their dreams. Here's the quote. "It's better to die chasing a dream never caught than to die never having chased the dream." I'm going to repeat it. It's better to die chasing a dream never caught than to die never having chased the dream. Chase your dreams, people. Nobody can see your dream as clearly as you can, and you can't see anybody else's dream as clearly as they can. So don't allow anybody to poo-poo your dream, and don't you poo-poo anybody else's dream. Chase your dreams. Now, the way this book is formatted, it's 90 pages, 2 quotes per page. The quotes are in all caps, separated by a black and white picture. And the book is 90 pages, but this is what's on page 90, the end. So I'm going to open up the floor. Y'all can shout out page numbers that y'all want me to read the quotes on. I'll read the 2 quotes on that page. Okay, so now you don't allow the way how you feel about yourself is all that matters. What other people think of you is none of your business. Keep that in mind. If you think of yourself as being fine and wonderful and all of that, they almost cussed. No, don't do that. They'll have to deal with it. That's all. Okay, so now I'm missing page numbers. Okay, page 77 for Ron. All right, page 77. At the top of page 77, truth and honesty free your soul. So stop lying. At the bottom of page 77, family is the root of the tree of life. Can y'all live by those quotes? Okay. What else? Okay, I maybe have missed some pages. Okay, page 22. Page 22, at the top of page 22, yesterday is gone, but we can take the reins of today, of right now. At the bottom of page 22, do you act as though you value things more than you value people? Yeah. Okay. All right, page 8. Hold on. Hold on, I'm gonna get the screenshot. All right, page 8. At the top of page 8, teachers should have the highest pay because they teach us all. At the bottom of page 8, Count your blessings. Millions of people would love to trade their problems for yours. Can you live by those quotes? Okay, page 12 and 54. All right, page 12. At the top of page 12, strive for excellence, not perfection. At the bottom of page 12, if they serve no other purpose, unkind people show you how not to be. Page 54. At the top, if you say you understand, prove it by your words and actions. At the bottom of page 54, show dignity when you lose as well as when you win. Can y'all live by those quotes? Okay, page 16 and then 11. Those are the last two I'm going to read. Page 16, at the top of page 16. What is a miracle? Proof that God exists. At the bottom of page 16. If you're not the perfect man, stop looking for the perfect woman. If you're not the perfect woman, stop looking for the perfect man. Can y'all live by those quotes? Okay, page 11. I just looked at the clock. I'm going to go to 5:40. Page 11. That's at the top. I already read that one, but here it goes again. It's better to die chasing a dream never caught than to die never having chased the dream. At the bottom of page 11, a marriage license is not a certificate of ownership. Page 11. Okay, page 21. This is the last one, y'all. Now I'm getting ready to get off of here. At the top of page 21, children are watching and listening to you. Be careful what you let them see and hear. At the bottom of page 21, ever wonder what God thinks when he looks at the world? Now, can y'all live by those quotes that I read? This book is 90 pages. It's $7.99 at goodshortbooks.com. And the link is in my profile. There are 11 nonfiction books there. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Divine. So, 11 nonfiction books. And the books are flying off shelves, y'all, because people are coming onto my lives and they're learning about the books. Okay, so I want to thank y'all for joining my lives. And as I said, I am still on TikTok. And if y'all love those quotes, I have, I don't know if you're interested, I have 125 subscriber-only videos. If you really like the quotes, where I do quotes, I pick quotes out of this book. And I share with my subscribers why I coined the quotes. See, the quotes are just bare quotes, but they're very good quotes because I love quotes. I think they say a lot in a few words. So you can subscribe still over on TikTok if you want to get the 125 subscriber-only videos. So I got off of TikTok because they raised the subscription price. But if you really love quotes, you can go ahead on and subscribe and get the 125 subscriber-only videos. So they're still up there. And I still post to TikTok every day. So thank y'all for joining my lives. And like I said, if you enjoyed this, if you got something out of it, do a video or a post and tag me and tell everybody, about the lives that I do. I love doing them, and it almost always, well, not almost, it is always that some people get a lot out of what I'm doing. So thank you. Oh, thanks, Mystic. I appreciate that. I got to screenshot that one. All right, y'all. I appreciate you joining my lives. I do them Monday through Friday. Pass the word, spread the word. Monday through Friday at 4 a.m. Pacific, and it's a 90-minute live. I share advice that will help you to undifficult your life. The 4 pillars, okay? Please implement those 4 pillars, y'all. Thank you. Take care. Come back tomorrow. Bye.